Welcome to Apaga University. I'm Inga.
And I'm Julie. We are two
momtrepreneurs
who have built an in-home care business from the ground up, guided every step of the way by God's care and fueled by agape love.
16 years later and over 100 podcast episodes already under our belts, we invite you to continue on this journey with us as we share stories that resonate, insights that inspire, and practical guidance that empowers you to face any obstacle along this path.
Whether you're a professional caregiver, a family member, or are simply curious about what your steps will be when you need them, you have come to the right place.
Oh, hey, and while you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And after that, make sure you send this to a friend.
Yes, do it. All right, we'll quit fooling around and get to it.
Let's go. Class is in session.
Hello, Sunshines, and hello, Julie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm
Patiently
good.
waiting?
I'm waiting.
I don't think I'm situated correctly, but
Situated.
I don't know. We'll see. Can you hear me, Alyssa? Okay, yay.
Say Alyssa would let you know.
Yeah, I thought that was nice, how impatiently you were waiting for me.
That or I was pondering.
Oh, were you?
No, I was
Okay.
impatiently waiting.
Okay. No. Nice. Well, let's see. What's new since last I saw you?
Oh, well, it's been so very long. You know, I actually, when I was doing this, it really irritated myself
Uh-oh.
because I hate it when somebody touches my face.
Oh, really?
It drives me freaking nuts.
That's so funny.
I'm just like, I just think about all of the stuff that you're putting on my face.
The dirt of the world is what my grandma calls it.
Oh, that's
Like,
funny.
Oh, yeah, because she would always talk about like your fingernails. I had this very bad habit of chewing my fingernails
Yes.
when I was younger, and
Yes.
she would, the dirt of the world is on there.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but you're incredibly patient when Callie is messing with you.
Well, she doesn't until she touches my face.
So everywhere else on your body, you're fine.
Yeah, whatever. It's
Just don't.
It's
what-
just a
but what-
freaking playground,
so
evidently.
anything from here back is fine.
Yes, just don't put your hands on my face.
Huh, interesting.
I'm gonna get a zit.
Oh, is that what you're worried about?
Oh, yes. And
Interesting.
When you're old like me, a zit is not cool.
Kind of embarrassing.
It's incredibly embarrassing. I may
It
act
happens
like
to
a
me every now
teenager,
and again.
but I shouldn't get a zit like a teenager. For goodness sakes,
You say it with such disgust.
zits.
Ugh. It's kind of a gross word, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it really is for a gross thing, though.
Okay. So anyway, what did we
I digress.
what did we establish that you've been up to?
Pondering life or being impatient. Either one of
Or the message of the
So-
day, don't touch Julie's face. for
literally just never
goodness
mind.
sakes.
All of it was just said. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Apaga University. If this is your first time, hopefully this is not deterring you from coming back or staying for the rest of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
If you have been here before, thank you.
Yes.
And we'll just roll
Keep
right
coming
into our
on
verse.
back.
This is
Yeah.
1 John chapter 1, verses 8 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
It says, if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we say we have not sinned, we make him a liar and his word is not in us. Well, we're all sinners.
Yes, we are.
I mean, that is the beauty of it, I guess.
Yes.
And he died for our sins, but we have to all come to terms with the fact that we are all sinners.
yes.
Interesting too. I find it amusing when people get really, really upset at other people for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even remember where I heard it, but something to the effect of like, they just sin differently than you do. So like,
Ooh,
who
that's
are
a good
you
one.
to be so upset about how somebody else sins? It's not that you don't sin. They just do it differently than you do it.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I heard it, but it really did stick with me because it's like, who are we to judge and condemn other people for their sins? We all do it.
Right.
It's not all the same.
That was actually very deep.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
Usually I pick a daily verse. If somebody hasn't offered it to me, which this is what you need to do, is send us your favorite verses,
Yes.
correct? But that one, I just usually try to tie it in with the topic. And today I just simply could not because there's no way to tie it in. So I just picked the verse of the day.
Nice.
And that's what popped up.
And that's where we
I was like,
landed.
we're just going to share that.
Okay,
It's
well-
a good one.
It is a good one, indeed.
Yes.
So today, we are going to be talking about telehealth.
After
Correct?
I talk about my pooches.
Oh my God, what is wrong with me? I should be fired from this job. So tell me about your pooches.
Funny, not funny. I don't tend to think that I'm like an animal person, right? I mean, I have had cats, I have dogs, I have a bunny, I have had pigs.
But not an animal person.
But I don't think of myself as a cuddly, bring the kitty here and I'm going to just love on it. Because once again, it's one of those things. I don't like touching them. It's very weird.
It is interesting because your love language to animals is food.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about like the bunny has to get 3 carrots or 4 carrots and everything is very precise and
Yes.
So like just specific. And
I talk to them in that little baby voice.
Yes.
So they got to know that I love them.
Yes.
But don't I don't need to touch it.
I'm not going to touch it and it better not touch my face.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Interesting.
anyway, I
Okay.
just kind of
You are more of an animal person than you think you are though. But.
Probably.
Yeah.
But what I have found is when I am looking for good news stories, it usually gravitates around a stupid animal. Just drives myself crazy. I'm just
Well, we can't wait to hear about it.
Oh, yes. So back to the story. So Eric and Florence are official staff members at the historic English Abbey.
Okay, yay.
Did you almost pick this
I almost picked it, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. They are dogs, this Eric and Florence. They are black Labradors who belong to the lay minister who assists in every aspect of the abbey in Gloucestershire. And they have become regulars due to a sudden scheduling conflict. So one day his daughter wasn't at home, the wife wasn't home, and he couldn't leave the two at home because he knew that they would be a disaster. So he called work and said, oh my gosh, I kind of need to bring my dogs. And they said, sure. So now they come like clockwork every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and 2 Sundays a month and have been dubbed official assistant vergers, where they are turned into therapy dogs for everybody that comes.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And so they say that they've added to the positive atmosphere here at the Abbey and have such a warm welcoming. So basically at first they said, yes, temporarily you can bring your dogs.
Yeah, we know how that goes, Tuna.
Yeah, no kidding. So anyway, Eric and Flo.
Those are cute names for dogs.
Yeah, come to work with Chris and follow them around the Abbey. During services, they lie quietly on their mats in this side, just listening to the sermon.
Wow.
They're so cute.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, we have Briar now, the Bailey's retriever, and I often think that she might make a good therapy dog just because she's a puppy, but I feel like she can be very calm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just animals are just so therapeutic anyway. Eh. Don't tell me that you don't get some joy out of going out and talking to your little rabbit.
It's not my rabbit. I got it because
Denial, Julie.
well, because Callie had to have animals and left me and went to college and became an adult.
Yes, it's your rabbit.
Oh, it is very funny because
What's his name again? Earl or something? No,
it's Dean.
Oh, Dean.
So basically, every morning has to have about 5 or 6. You kind of got to feel how many carrots. And then at night, I go pick some fresh grass and the clover, and I make a cute little thing and put some bunny treats on top. But he's actually incredibly old, but it's only because of the stupid loving that he gets. Then I go, hey, how are you, bunny? That's all.
Hey, how are you, bunny?
We chat a little bit, and that's
You're so weird. Okay, so my story actually has to do with a dad who started this ritual with his daughter her very first year in school. And then every year subsequently, he would interview her and ask her what she wanted to be when she grew up.
Oh.
And so it was basically just documenting from kindergarten through 12th grade.
cute.
And it's cute to watch the video because there are some years where it stays the same. And then, one year where something sort of like arbitrary gets kind of thrown into the mix. But anyway, so then he goes and at the end of it, like late at night when nobody is watching him or aware of what he's doing, he compiles this all into a video from start to finish. And yeah, it's really neat. It's funny to me because I think kids, they go through this natural order. And I think little girls for sure go through this natural order of like, I want to be a teacher, or I want, there are certain things that you expect to hear from a young girl, right? When when you ask them what they want to be, and then to watch the evolution of it to where, the end. Cool. And it's also funny to me at the end where, this now graduating girl is, or going into her last year of school is like, are you going to cry, Dad? Teasing him. Because I was thinking about how for parents, it's sort of the end of an era, right? When your kid gets to be a senior in high school. But for kids, it's like the most exciting thing because they're just ready to go. And anyway, so I'll play it real quick and then we'll have it in the show notes so you can actually see the girl.
Okay, here we go. For the record, say your name and spell it.
Elizabeth Petlin. ELIZABETH. Petlin.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A doctor, a teacher. Maybe a teacher, a doctor, or a magician. A million things. A waitress. I want to make a student place. A baker. Maybe a teacher.
Open heart surgeon.
Open heart surgeon.
Physical therapist. Physical therapist.
Physical therapist.
Physical therapist or nurse.
Here, I love you. I love you. Mommy and Daddy love you. Well, I want you to know we love you. Mommy and Daddy love you very much, and we hope you have an awesome year. I just want you to know that we love you. Mommy and Daddy love you very much. Well, I love you. And your mom and I love you very much. We love you very much. And your mom and I love you very, very much. Your mom and I are very, very proud of you and love you very much.
You're gonna cry.
No. I love you.
Love you too. Is the school bus here now?
I love you too. Is the school bus here now? That was on her kindergarten.
Oh,
yeah,
cute,
it's
cute.
Super, super cute.
Yeah.
And I, wish I would have had the fortitude to think of that early on in Bailey's years. But to be very honest with you, I'm not sure that I always purchased school pictures every year. I don't know that I could, find where I have stashed them over the years.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so now let's
we can
talk about telehealth.
About the meat of the topic.
Yep.
So telehealth. We've talked about telehealth, but we've never talked about telehealth. Like, what is it truly, and getting you ready and prepared and all of the things. And the advances in medicine where we're able to do that. For example, in the insurance that I have offers a free telehealth. And I had to use it a couple months ago. And I'll tell you what, it was awesome because I felt like I had something going on. I knew what it was. And so I just got online. I said, I want my appointment at 3:00. And this is what I think I've got going on. The app actually said, if this is anything physical, send us pictures. You could download like 3 pictures. And mine was not anything that you would want to
take a picture of.
Anyway. And so anyway, then right at 3:00, I had a physician call me. And he goes, now, how do you know that this is what it is? Well, because I've had them before. It's just, it was a urinary tract infection.
I was like, you're going to have to tell them.
All of the people can just put away their microscope and try to figure out what was wrong with Julie. Anyway, and so he said, oh, okay, yeah. And we had a brief talk. He said, what pharmacy? And it didn't even take 5 minutes. And he said, this is the medicine I'm going to give you. And I need you to call me back in 5 days if this has not resolved itself. It was incredible. After I get done, I run to the pharmacy. They've got my meds ready. Then I get this thing that says this telehealth visit you just had through your insurance program just saved you $150 off of going physically into the urgent care or whatever. And I was like, yeah, it turns out to be more than that, because if you have to stop what you're doing at work, drive across town, wait for however long, it could have taken a couple of hours for what I knew was the problem already.
Right.
And it's not that they can do everything with telehealth,
Sure.
but I just thought, wow, that was great.
Yeah.
And there are many times like Callie occasionally gets like a pink eye.
Mhm.
And I'm like, dude, take a picture of that, send it to telehealth and talk to them. Because there are the simpler things you can easily resolve.
Yep.
And if you can do it like through your insurance, huge. I loved it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And like, I don't know how much telehealth existed before coronavirus, but I
Right.
really do feel like, at least in our experience, it was sort of born from that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's become a very, very big thing. And I think one of the barriers, which I'm assuming we'll get to, as we get further along in talking about this, would be the demographic of people that we are working with.
Yeah.
Maybe not having the ability or knowledge to be able to do this, but a lot of times, like, our caregivers would be helping clients with those telehealth appointments.
Yep.
So basically, the goals of telehealth, sometimes they call it e-health or m-health for mobile health, but the primary goals include things like making healthcare easier to get for people who live in communities that are remote, or maybe you live in the country, which here in Montana, that's a big thing. There's a lot of rural areas here. It's to help you keep you and others safe if you have infectious diseases. So, in a case like COVID, not maybe necessarily wanting you to be in an office where you might be spreading that to other people. It is to offer primary care for many conditions, to make services more easily offered or handy for people who have a limited ability to move, limited time, limited transportation, to offer access to medical specialists, to improve communication and coordination of care among healthcare team members and the person that's getting the care, and then to offer advice for self-management of healthcare. So many people found telehealth very helpful during COVID-19 pandemic and still use it. It's actually being used more often. And we had a case yesterday where we did a training with our Medicaid for a new program that we're getting. And basically she was talking about during the pandemic, telehealth and those coordinated visits we were allowed to do via Zoom or maybe a Teams meeting or something like this. And they found that they are effective enough that they're going to continue to allow that, even though the pandemic has ended here in Montana. So it just an amazing feature. And like you said, it's not for everybody and it's not for every situation. There are some things, if you have a broken arm, obviously you're not going to be able to get that resolved on telehealth.
Does this look like it's broke?
But in a lot of situations, it's just a lot more efficient for people. And
so here's some examples of telehealth services that may be helpful. Some clinics use them to offer the remote care, like you said. For example, clinics may offer virtual visits. These allow you to see your healthcare provider, mental health counselor, or a nurse via online video or phone chats. Forgot that this is actually also for mental health.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Lots and lots of, I think, counseling now goes through a telehealth type situation.
Right. Virtual visits can offer care in many conditions such as migraine, skin conditions, diabetes, depression, anxiety, colds, coughs. These visits allow you to get care from a provider when you don't need or can't get in an in-person visit. Before your visit, your healthcare team may send you information or forms to fill out online and return to them. They may also make sure that you have the technology you need. They'll check to see if you need to update or install any software or apps, and they can tell you how to sign on and join the video chat for your visit. Also, the healthcare team may explain how to use the microphone, camera, and text chat if needed. Ask a family member to help you set up the technology as you need. And it happens because even on Zooms like that, when we were on yesterday, there was a bit of a time that my camera wasn't working. And so there's that. You got to make sure your microphone works. And
it can be a little bit stressful when you first are trying to make sure. I for anytime we have a meeting like that, I'm always like,
it's silly.
Panic
We all get a little crazy about that.
Yeah. But I think once you figure it out, it becomes second nature. So basically devices that you can use, a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer with internet access, those would allow you to join a virtual visit. You can find that you are comfortable, quiet, find that private spot in your house, sit down, and then your provider is also going to be in a private place. So it's not like this is, they're in the cafeteria having this meeting with you or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people may use web or phone-based services for medical care advice. When you log into a web-based service or call a service that offers primary urgent care, you're guided through many questions. The provider or nurse practitioner can prescribe drugs. They might suggest home care tips or more medical care. So we talked just a minute ago, but some of the drawbacks. So treatment may not be coordinated with your regular provider. So like you've got a doctor that you see here, but the telehealth person that you called is not local, right?
Oh, and I'll never talk to that same man again,
Sure.
ever.
But it turns out you got your thing solved. So again, in those certain situations, it's great. In others, it might not be. So
he was
good.
Also incredibly nice. Loved visiting with him.
Yeah. So basically, important details from your medical history might not be considered.
Right.
Computer-driven model used to make decisions may not be right for you if you have a complex medical history, and the service doesn't easily allow for you to make decisions with your provider about treatments. So I think that it just all comes down to the complexity of what you're trying to be seen for.
Yeah, it seems to me that it's more for a just a minor, like an urgent care situation where it's obvious that anything more complex or somebody that's been very sick or on a bunch of medicine should not do this.
Right. So basically, many technologies allow your provider or healthcare team to check your health remotely. So technologies that included in that would be web-based or mobile apps for uploading data to your provider, just like you were saying on the, uploading pictures. Or maybe that you need to upload, for instance, if you have diabetes, you might need to upload food logs, blood sugar levels, or drugs that a nurse checks for you. Devices that measure and wirelessly send data such as blood pressure, blood sugar, and oxygen levels. Wearable devices that automatically record and send data. For example, the devices may record data such as heart rate, blood sugar, how you walk, your posture, tremors, physical activity, or your sleep. So I was just thinking about Papa Mike when he had some heart stuff going on. They sent him home on some contraption that he had to wear, and the data just got sent to wherever it went, and they're just monitoring this. So
for AFib, Grandma has that. She has that thing. Now, she had an incident just last week, actually. Funny that we're talking about this right now, is that she actually, whenever her heart rate would go funky and get out of its rhythm, it's supposed to tell whoever's supposed to be monitoring it.
Right.
Well, they ended up taking Grandma in for something else, and they were not pleased that when she had that situation, it did not tell the receiving end that there was a problem. And I don't know the rest of the story, why that happened or what. So it's not foolproof.
Right. I mean, yes, anything that you're dealing with, I mean, there is going to be room for the device to fail for sure.
Well, and so another client that we have right now, he's actually 102 and the family is trying very, very hard to keep him, he's got diabetes, and they're trying to keep him eating as much as he needs to eat because he continuously losing weight. But so the amount of calories is huge. Plus, so they have it pretty complex at this point where he actually has that little thing on him where it talks to their phones. And so if he has a spike in his blood work for sugar or it's down, they are immediately notified. And though they also, this is kind of a weird example, is the caregivers use a telephone to text the family for lunch. He had this much food. They put it into an app that they have that tells them exactly how much medicine he should have based on
what he
just ate.
Wow.
And so they're using 3 or 4 different processes to try to help him.
Wow.
Bottom line is he doesn't want to eat. So no matter the gadgets and gizmos you have, you still want to have that desire.
Yes.
And so they've got it all set up, and he's not necessarily always helping the
Oh,
situation.
man.
Yeah.
Other home monitoring things can be devices for older people with dementia that can find changes in daily activities such as falling.
Oh,
Which I've heard of that, like Lifeline type things. Don't they have some that have the ability to?
Yes.
They know whatever the change is, but
Yeah.
And then devices that send notifications to remind you to do exercises or take your medication. Providers can also use technology to give people better care. For example, in a virtual consultation, primary care providers can get input from specialists in other locations when they have questions about your diagnosis or treatment. So yes, I think the ability to, access medical records or look at data in other places that aren't necessarily right there with that physician exists.
especially with like x-rays and all of the radiographic stuff that goes on nowadays. They absolutely can just send that via however it goes through
Magic.
the magic.
Yes.
And have a specialist look something over. I mean, it's very common now to get an x-ray, but then they have to have the radiologist confirm it. Usually somebody will look at it and go, I don't see any fractures there.
Right.
But then the radiologist, the next day that they get it, like it happened at night, may say, oh no, there is a hairline fracture or something, but they do have people review those.
Yes. Yep.
And specialties. We have a friend that we know that the son has a potential like cancer of the brain that they just found out. And they literally could send it to California to a specialist that they know to have him review the stuff.
Yep.
So huge. It's
Amazing.
a big deal. So these virtual consults may prevent unnecessary in-person referrals to a specialist. They may also cut wait times for you to see a specialist, and they may remove the need for you to travel to a specialist. So that's huge. Cost saving, time savings, all of that. Your primary care clinic may have an online patient portal. These portals offer a safer way of contacting your provider instead of email. A portal provides a safe online tool to do the following, which is message your provider or a nurse, ask for prescription refills, review test results and summaries of earlier visits, schedule visits, or ask for appointment reminders for preventative care. If your provider is in a large healthcare system, the portal may also provide one point of contact for any specialist you may see. I do find it irritating, though, shocking, that like there was one time I had some lab work done and I called and said, you never called me with any results. And they're like, oh, didn't you get on your patient portal? And it's like, well, nobody had told me about a patient portal.
Right.
And the problem is with a patient portal is sometimes too much information is not a good thing.
Yeah. If you don't know
I don't know how to
you're-
read that,
Yeah.
and I'm panicking because something is in or out of the normal ranges. So
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Yeah.
But yes, they were irritated that I didn't look at my patient portal before calling them, but I didn't know there was a patient portal.
Well,
Just
and
assume at this point there's a patient portal somewhere.
Right. I was actually going to say that. But the other thing is, I would think that there's a reasonable expectation, being the patient, that if your lab work is not within normal ranges, you would hear from someone.
Yes.
When it turns out my cholesterol is higher than it should be. And they immediately called me and I was like, dang it, Sammy, because I didn't know that I had high cholesterol and I didn't need to know. I'm doing fine. Now I know because she made me get an annual for baseline. I'm like, well, shoot.
Well, good job, Sammy, because hardhead over here wasn't listening very good.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, many apps have been made to help people better organize their medical information. We were talking about that kind of stuff. Stored personal health information, record vital signs, calculate and track your calories, schedule reminders for taking drugs, record physical activities such as your daily step count. God, dear, irritates me. I have this little thing that I didn't wear today, actually, but it tells me when I've sat too long. Get off your big butt, and it's time to stand. Go out and do some walking. And then when you hit your record, it acts like it's shocked and surprised, but it sends you this little screen that's got, woohoo, you did it. You hit your, yeah. Are we supposed to
So it's
celebrate that?
not motivating for you.
It's not. It does remind me it's supposed to help me keep track of how much water I drink.
Oh, how's that going?
Not well.
Speaking of that, I have my new water bottle and I think it's 5 o'clock. No, it's not really that late, but I think I'm at about 9 o'clock in the morning. So I have a lot of drinking
Let's
to do.
say you're several hours behind.
Just a little, yeah. I am pretty thirsty though, so
Oh, good.
I'm gonna do a lot of
all
drinking
this
when
you're
we finish
talking.
this. Yes.
Yes. It's a good thing that in an emergency, public health records can quickly give emergency staff vital information. It can show your current conditions, drugs, drug allergies, and your provider's contact details. Technology has the potential to improve the quality of life, and technology can make it easier for people to get health care. That's the big deal from what I can see. There's a lot of people that are just so resistant to going to the doctor.
Yeah.
And maybe if they can do things in the comfort of their own home,
Right.
they're more apt to.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that you are going to not feel as much pressure if you're not sitting right across from your doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and they do, you can feel when a doctor is just trying to hurry because he has to get on to the next person,
yeah.
so that's annoying.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
I mean, you can probably sense that online too, but
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
yeah. You always worry about going to the doctor and saying, what cooties are in the air that I'm breathing in, and that, I guess that's where, like you said, COVID-19 freaked everybody out so damn hard.
I kind of feel that way when I go to a public school. The cooties and the smells.
Yeah.
Man, those public schools, middle school especially,
Oh, yeah.
smell so bad. Have you ever walked into a middle school?
Yes.
It's like getting punched in the face. I don't know how those teachers do it every day, but God bless them because we need them. We need to pay them more.
Teachers
But
are a special human being.
They are indeed.
It does say that sometimes technology doesn't work well. It's important to have a plan with your provider to call them by phone if there's an issue with the virtual visit. So if you need internet, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I have an internet carrier that I just fired. And I had to get, I chose to get Starlink because it's for more remote areas. And even though I live in the valley, I live out far enough that there is actually no other options besides the one I had. And I had to tell that one to pound sand because I just got tired of them.
We just got a new internet provider in our area. It's probably been 6 months, maybe a year. Same deal. Same one that you fired, I too fired.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy.
Is it working well for you?
So well. Amazingly well.
Nice. Good,
Love
good.
it.
Good. So the different types of telehealth, we kind of talked about those. What is remote patient monitoring? That's for that high blood pressure, all of your vitals. I don't know how they would do weight.
I don't know. Unless you just have to enter it in and send it or something. But
Well, what if you're
I don't know. We don't know
fibbing?
how anything works. So anybody can fib ever and do. Patients lie. Have you ever watched House?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's pretty good. I like it. But yeah, patients lie.
There's even monitors to track your baby while you are pregnant.
Yep.
Tools that check for sleep problems. That's a big one.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, so basically why use telehealth? I think there's a lot of advantages to it. And I think that mobility is a big one. And then transportation is a big one.
Yep.
And so we've recently actually just had a situation with one of our payer sources that is no longer allowing us to take someone to the doctor. So I'm thinking a lot of that, they better be willing to then offer telehealth as a solution to the big problem that
The
they
very,
caused.
very big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer of a
So,
deal, but yeah, I think it has its place certainly, and then again, there are other situations that are not going to be appropriate for telehealth, but I think it's a beautiful tool, and it can provide a lot of opportunities for people that otherwise might not be able to get to the doctor or might not be willing to go to the doctor or whatever that reason is, but I think, it's just great to have options.
Yep. So basically, you're going to just need to know if you need internet, what kind of product is it? A smartphone? Is it an iPad? So you're going to have to get all of that taken care of. And then you're going to have to get comfortable with it.
Right.
Because there's nothing worse than having a 3:00 appointment and at 2:58, you find out nothing's working.
Yeah.
Not that that's ever happened to me.
I am just dying over, I still cannot get over this meeting that I went to with very high level, intelligent people at the state level. And they had things set up in a certain way with the speakers and everything. And the individual, one individual that needed to be, talking the most, the speaker wasn't in front of that person. And so they were going to deconstruct everything to move the speaker to that person instead of just having that person move to the speaker. I was like, wow, this is a government meeting. But I could not get over it. I was like, this cannot really be happening. Oh, it's happening.
Right in front of our faces.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. But anyway, so I don't know why that just popped into my head.
Just because it's kind of the whole thing with what we're talking about is make sure your stuff is organized prior. Because it's a very beautiful thing that they can now offer as long as it's all of the parts are parting.
Yep. Parts are parting. Okay, on that, what's your parting wisdom to us?
Can't hold a candle.
Oh.
Yeah. So what does can't hold a candle to mean? This means it's used when making comparisons, describing that one person or thing is inferior to another. The phrase has an undertone of inadequacy or subpar quality. If you say something can't hold a candle to something else, it means it's not as good, efficient, or effective. Ooh.
So, yeah.
Use it in a sentence, Inga.
Those are all nice words, but used in that context could be quite insulting.
I do like candles.
I do too like candles.
But not if you say it can't hold a candle to.
What kind of smells do you like on candles? Can't hold a candle to my sweet smelling candles.
Gross. It's true.
I know. It's actually good. You and Alyssa like more of the not super sweet ones.
Yeah.
I am a big sweet smelling candle person.
No citrusy for me.
You like flowers and stuff.
I am.
You are something.
Flowery type person.
Good grief. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Have a good day.
The caregiven name is a registered trademark of the Veritrust Health Incorporated Company. IPAGA is not connected to, affiliated with, or endorsed by Veritrust or any of its affiliates.